Hi, Ralph. Hope you're well.
Hey, thank you.
I just wanted to start firstly with a bit of reaction to what's happened at Swansea. Obviously, Jamal Lowe has become the third Swansea player in less than 2 months subjected to racial abuse on Instagram. And the club as a whole have decided to boycott social media for the next week. Is that something that you guys would consider as well? Is it? I just want to get your reaction to the action that Swansea are taking as well. And also, is it something that you would talk about as a club or you would indeed encourage your players to do?
Well, to be honest, it's a good decision to block the social medias. I'm not a big friend of social medias. That's the reason why you have an open ear from me when you speak about this topic. It's an easy way to get a voice of blaming somebody, and a very easy way of putting racistic words out there. And this is definitely something also this social media must control and finally stop it, because it's definitely something that we have to take very serious.
Do you speak to your players about it, Ralph? How do you protect your players?
We have our people here in the club who support them in this way, because we know that a lot of players have their accounts and they get definitely taught what they should do and what they definitely shouldn't do. And I think for every player, I know that they like to post things. I know that they like to send messages out, but I have no account. I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest. I will never have one for sure, and I don't like them to use it too much, because there are enough in the public. There are enough seen when they play their games, when they make their interviews. It's not necessary to be all the time there. But I know maybe I'm a little bit old school in this way, but I've never found the reason why it is interesting to put everything out of your private life or whatever.
Onto football, I just wonder how happy you've been with Theo Walcott and what he's done during his loan spell, and how likely do you feel it is now that he will join on a permanent basis once his loan spell is over? Are talks indeed taking place already about a permanent deal?
No, it's not a secret that I was very happy with him as long as he's here now, because I think he did a fantastic job. Missed him definitely when he was injured, and yes, I mean, I like a lot of things on this player. Not only his workload, also his mentality, his attitude, his professionalism. This is something every team can or needs to have, and I think it's a player every manager likes to work with, because he's I was positive, always very, very open-minded for new things, and in the end, never stopped getting better.
So you want him to stay. What kind of a deal are you looking at for him?
We are in negotiations with the agent, with him, and I'm sure not only his not only this player, but we will have next season a very, very balanced and mentally strong side for sure.
That said, what's your reaction then to reports that Spurs are interested in Yannick Vestergaard, obviously one of the players that will only have 12 months left on his contract in the summer?
What can I say? It's nothing new that players, they did a good job for us this season, that they are on the list for some bigger clubs. This is normal. This has always been in our history. I don't want to discuss rumors around there. It's not necessary to discuss it. You can be sure that this player has a contract for Southampton Football Club, and as long as he has this, he's our player, and we will do everything to keep him here and to protect him for everything.
Okay, Paul at Premier League.
Hi, Ralph. What did you make of West Brom's performance at Chelsea last week?
Oh, it was a not so bad one, to be honest. Was a surprising result. I saw the game live also, and the goals they scored were really beautiful and well played. And yeah, I mean, against a side that hasn't lost so far, I think a big statement that they still are not running out of believing what they are doing, and definitely a side that now feels that they maybe still have a chance to stay in the league. There are still a lot of points to get, and finally, yeah, for us the next tough game.
And you have the sort of the balancing act to do of still wanting Premier League points, but also having the FA Cup semi-final soon afterwards. And you said recently that you'd taken the decision to risk the prioritising the FA Cup a bit. And I wondered, was that solely your decision, or was there a message from above that the club could do with a cup run? It's been a long time. You know, how does that decision come to fruition?
I mean, on the sportive side, it's always my decision, our decision, to be honest, because we both know, or we all know in this club, that the most important thing is to stay in the league. But we all said that as soon as we have a situation in the winter where we are relatively safe in the league, that we then can also focus on the competition, where you need 6 wins to win a big title. I mean, this is the easiest chance if you want to win a title, and the most traditional trophy in English football, or maybe most traditional in football anywhere. And finally, yeah, this is for us a big chance, and for every club a big chance. And this season, I think we deserve to be in the round of the last 4 teams in the semi-finals, because we took it very serious. We always picked a very strong side, and we really wanted to go for this title. And yeah, this is the reason why we still have to focus on the league, but definitely good results in the league help us to get some self-confidence also for the cup semi-final.
And Nathan Redmond backed up his very good performance in the quarter-final against Burnley then last week, and I wondered how impressed you were with not just him, but also the way he and Theo were sort of switching a bit, and the way that front four had sort of interacted.
Yeah, I mean, when you create, I think 26 or 27 shots on the target against a team like Burnley, then you have done something right in the attack. And I think, especially when you're 2 down, and then come back like we did in this game, it is a good, it's a good feeling for the guys. They played in front there, and shows that they definitely fit together. And I think the work we have done during the week to prepare for this game, with all the players being here, with Reddy being here, Ingzi being here, Theo being here, coming back after injuries, helped us massively. And I was very happy with their performance, and every player, especially also Reddy and Theo, showed that, with them, we are a stronger side.
Thanks, Ralph. Good luck.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, Adam Blackmore.
Ralph, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Sorry, I still can't find the camera from this studio. It's still being stolen.
You don't have one. Tell me the truth.
Someone's stolen it, I'm sure. Right. Look, those shots, to see the team in the final third creating so many opportunities was obviously very pleasing. When you always said when the players came back, we'd be a different team, and that was the case going forward against Burnley. But how worried are you about tightening up your defence? Because, the goals against in the Premier League are obviously a lot higher than you would like. There's only the Sheffield United, maybe West Brom, who've got worse defences on paper.
Yeah, I mean, we had in the past times or terms where we have been very stable. I remember the games after lockdown where we had conceded 8 goals in 10 games. This was a very good period. Then we had also a few very good clean sheets over Christmas. So we have always times where we are defending quite well, and times where we are struggling a little bit. Most of the time when we had players not in form or not on the pitch, not the best players in and around. And finally, our defense work is always the key of winning. And yeah, clean sheets are helping more. Definitely, it's not always possible to score 3 goals when you concede 2. So you can be sure that for us, the defense work is normally the most important priority. But yeah, it's not always working like how you want to do it. And you have still strong Premier League sides against you. And this is always difficult to have clean sheets against them. But we must defend in some moments better, especially in the first 20 minutes against Burnley. It was far away from being perfect. The penalty was stupid. And also the second goal was too easy. Yeah, finally, in the end, it is good that we turned things around, but it's not always possible to go 2 down.
Yeah. This game, it's great you've had a week on the training ground with the players back, and you'll get another week just almost until the semi-final. I'm just wondering about the mentality of players. You know, they know they're a week away from playing at Wembley in a semi-final. You're going to go to West Brom. How do you make sure, or what do you say to the players to make sure that physically they're not distracted by that semi-final, that you're going to have to compete against West Brom physically, and there might be, you know, a couple of my players might think, oh, I don't want to get injured a week before the semi-final.
Oh, that's not really something I'm scared of, because this game is 6 days later, and you as a player know that you hurt yourself more, or you get injured more when you are not 100% in the duels and not 100% of the pitch. Then you have a bigger danger of taking an injury. So if you want to step in a Premier League game, it's not possible with 50%. So you have to go there full and in every duel. And when I see a player not really investing everything against West Brom, I think then he knows that he doesn't have a good chance to play against Leicester in the Cup.
Yeah. Just finally, on the West Brom game, I think everyone was so pleased. We knew how important, and we talked about the importance of the 2 games before the semi. You've won the first one. Just how much would it get the season back on track totally to win at the Hawthorns, get another 3 points, and go into the semi-final feeling, you know, confident, and the form they, you know, back in form. It's great, isn't it? It's a huge week.
Yeah, wins can help definitely. Sometimes it is, yeah, definitely helpful, especially for the attacking players when you score goals. I think we've scored 6 goals in the last 2 games. So we had some moments we can remember where we really struggled scoring goals. In the moment we play quicker in front, we turn more in front and create more chances. And yeah, this was especially, I think, based on a few very good sessions we had in the last 2 weeks. And it's always good when we have a week to prepare for a game. And results on the weekend help definitely, and it's also helpful when you have a whole week to prepare for such a game. The history shows that after a week preparing for a game, we normally are showing a good performance on the weekend.
Okay, let's hope so. Good luck Monday.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, James at TalkSport.
Thank you. Hi, Ralph.
Hello.
Ralph, it felt like a really significant win against Burnley. You're now 10 points above the bottom 3, but you're only 6 points off the top half of the table. Is that now a target, finishing in the top half of the Premier League?
It's always a target, and we have been there for a not so short time this season, and then dropped because of a few issues we had with injuries and so. And yes, definitely we want to come back there, to go back there. And there are a few clubs we can definitely catch, and this is the target. But therefore we need wins, and it's more important to concentrate on what we have to do for taking wins than to concentrate where we should be or where we could be in the table in the end of the season. It comes by the way, but a top 10 ranking would be fantastic, definitely. Yeah.
The club announced today their biggest sponsorship deal in the club's history. What will that mean for recruitment? You said earlier that the squad will be very balanced next season. So have you been given guarantees on what you'll be able to spend and who you'll be able to bring in this summer?
Yeah, for us, a very important deal, a long-term deal with a clear message. And I think for us, yeah, absolutely necessary, because we we lose every week, every month, a lot of money because of the pandemic, because of having no supporters in the ground, and that's very helpful if you have partners you can trust. And I think this was a big step for us, and definitely gives us a chance to invest in players what we need for the next season, because we have a few positions where we have big problems and big issues, and finally gives us more alternative for looking around.
And just finally from me, Ralph, I'm not sure if you're aware, but this season there's been the highest proportion of goals scored in the top flight in the first half of matches this season, and Southampton have scored 64% of your goals in the first half, and that's more than any other side in the division. What do you put that down to? Have you got an idea?
Oh, interesting stat. To be honest, I didn't know this. Yeah, I mean, it is, I think, well known that we have a very intense way of playing football, and then we have normally a very good start and a very intense start. But that we scored that often the first is interesting. But that maybe means that we didn't score so often in the second half, because so always have to pay attention with the stats. Yeah, so it can show you something good. I think we scored a few goals. This is good. It can be even more, I think.
Brilliant. Thanks, Ralph.
Thank you.
Okay, Jim at PA.
Hi, Ralph. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Can I just check on how the squad is fitness-wise? Have you got any issues worry about ahead of Monday?
No, so far. We had 2 hard sessions today. Kyle had a little bit problems with his leg, but the rest is quite fit. You can also feel that the quality in the session is going better. Is getting better now because all the players are back, and that automatically gives you more of the experienced players on the pitch, and then automatically the quality is also a little bit higher. And yes, this is good to see, good to watch, and enjoyable every session.
A welcome change then from what you'd been used to a few weeks ago. Just on the club's new deal, with it being with a gambling firm, is that a difficult situation sometimes for clubs? Obviously, there's with the links between football and gambling is quite strong across the board, but also there's the other side of it, the social side, and we see players involved in gambling issues.
Yeah, I know about this issue. I know that we have also with this company a company that is also taking care of some of these issues, and no, I must say, I know that there were also some discussions about taking a betting company as a main sponsor on the shirt, but I think in this way to make such a deal in such a moment of the pandemic, and in a situation where a lot of teams are struggling getting new sponsorships, because all around there are issues with the economy. I think we can definitely be happy about that, and that means that we have a few more a little bit more safe in planning for the summer, because that will be a hot transfer summer for sure, because I expect some big moves also in the summer, but a lot of teams are struggling with their finances, and if you have them a little advantage, then you can make maybe a good deal, a very early good deal that helps you massively next season.
You'll be on the phone then. Plenty of phone calls coming up to agents. Just on the match itself, can we expect a real clash of styles between West Brom and Southampton?
I don't know. Yes, I mean they played in the last game against Chelsea a little bit different. Normally in a 4-1-4-1. I expect a team that is fighting for everything, with the quality they have shown also in the last game. We are just on the way to analyze what is for us the best, what we can do. Yes, we had one game against them this season, but with the older manager, and now it's a new one, and they play a little bit different. So it would be a completely different game, I think, and finally for us, a tough game, definitely.
Thanks very much. Good luck on Monday.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to the section embargoed for 10:30 this evening, and we'll start with Dan Sheldon at The Athletic.
Thank you, Jordan. Good afternoon, Ralph.
Ooh, Golden Gate Bridge.
Look at
Oh my
drop.
God.
Someone had to go, didn't they?
Oh my God. Hey.
Someone's got to do this job.
Yeah.
The West Brom game is interesting in the sense that, as Adam mentioned, you've got an FA Cup semi-final on the horizon, but you've said if players don't give everything, then they may not feature. Is this a great audition for players to actually cement their place in that FA Cup semi-final team?
It doesn't work against you if you play a good game on Monday. Definitely not. It's an argument for you as a player and for me, for the manager to pick him again. So everybody who gets the chance to play on Monday should do a good job normally.
And the players who perhaps miss out on Monday, Shea Adams hasn't started recently. Is there a chance that he may be given an opportunity to impress?
I think we have a few good alternatives also. And the guys in the sessions are definitely keen to show up and to want to be part of the team. And in the moment, this is a different situation now. I have luxury problems if you want to say. But to be honest, for me as a manager, it feels a little bit better than the other way around, where you don't know how who you can pick. And so finally, it's on us to find the right balance.
Okay, Tom Crocker.
Afternoon, Ralph.
Hello.
I want to ask you about Danny Ings, not about his contract, but about his performance against Burnley. Obviously, a goal and an assist for him there. It's been a sort of a tricky stop-start season for him, really, with injuries and COVID and everything. During the team's difficult spells, how much have you missed just having him in a consistent run of form and scoring goals like you had last season? Has that been played a big part, do you think, at times?
Yeah, this is not such a big secret that he is important for our game, definitely. And he's even more important when he's fit and when he can run and can do the job he did in the last game. And then he has the quality to score, then he has the quality to prepare chances. And I think this is what we missed, definitely. And it is also good that with Shea and with also Reddy now in better shape, we have something like a battle for the two positions in front. And this is good because that's, everybody knows when I don't perform well, then maybe I lose my spot, I lose my position in the first 11, and this is always the best way to push for better performances.
And I know it's not your job, but there's been a big discussion this week about the Euro squad for England and everything like that, and there's a lot of informed English strikers. Do you still see Danny up there with the rest of them? I guess the Euros is still a very big target for him.
To be honest, you're right. There are so many good strikers around there for England. I don't want to have the job to make the decision who I pick. Ings is definitely one of them, when he's fit and when he plays well and when he scores, then he must be part of this. But he has to stay fit and go in the battle, and then he has a chance, I think.
That's brilliant. Thanks, Ralph. Have a good weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Tom Leach.
Thanks, Jordan. Hi, Ralph. You okay?
Yeah, thank you. And you?
Before I ask you my main question, can I just ask on Jake Vokins? How's he? I think he was meant to be getting his results today, was he, from his ECG?
I don't know, to be honest. We haven't heard. I don't know it. We have our people who are looking for them, but I haven't heard anything different now.
Okay, no worries. So I can ask you about Takumi Minamino. He spoke brilliantly in an interview with the club yesterday about how much he's loving the game time that you're giving him. Do you think you've made him realise maybe what he was missing at Liverpool?
Yeah, I mean, it's never nice for a player if you don't have the game time you want to have. It's always hard only to train and not seeing a perspective to be part of the squad of the first 11. And then definitely helps you and your mentality to get a lift and to get a chance to play. This is what I always say when players like to join big clubs because get a lot of money there and a lot of praise for being part of one of the top 6 or whatever. But it's only a short moment when you are happy about that, because in the end, when you're not playing enough times and when you are not really important for the club, then it feels very quick, very very awful. And I think finally, the most important thing for the players is always to get a chance to play. And in our club, in our team, we had so much rotations because of injuries and everything. So it was clear that he will get immediately a lot of game time. In the moment, it's a little bit more difficult, I think, but still here with his quality, he scored a few good goals for us so far. And I'm happy to have him on the bench.
It's unclear whether he's going to be able to get that game time when he's back at Liverpool. We know your stance on Theo. What's your stance on Takumi? Do you hope to have the chance to look at him, or does it rest entirely in Liverpool's hands?
To be honest, we haven't had negotiations about that so far. We don't even know what Liverpool thinks about the player in the summer. The deal was to give him game time for the first half year where he's here, and this is what we did definitely until now. And yeah, hopefully he will get even more time to play.
Thank you, Ralph, and best of luck.
Thanks a lot.
Tom Hopkinson.
Hello, Ralph. Good to see you. I just wanted to ask you a little bit about Sam Allardyce. There's obviously a certain perception of the way Sam plays and has played the game in England over the years, and I just wondered what the perception was of him in Austria and Germany before you came, and whether in the last couple of months you've been a bit surprised by what you've seen from his team.
Yeah, I know the name. I didn't know so much about his way of playing football. I've heard a little bit from my assistant coaches about his history with, keeping nearly every team in the league what he took over. So it is an amazing record he has there, I think. This is well known now for me. But I think the job he took here was definitely not the easiest one. So the distance to the safe spots was a very big one. But I think the results have shown he took a lot of points also against the big teams. So definitely turned some things around in this club. And still I think he's believing in staying in the league. And I think this you could feel also in the last game against Chelsea, that the players all on the pitch, even if they have been one down, they never stopped believing and never stopped fighting, and in the end scored beautiful goals and deserved to win against a strong side. So you can imagine how difficult it will get for us on the weekend. But good challenge, definitely.
And just in terms of your own consistency, I think you've only managed 3 wins in succession once this season. Is consistency going to be the key next year to making sure you don't find yourself in the same sort of position you've been in recent weeks?
Yes, definitely. That helps massively if you are consistently taking points. We have shown this also in this season for a very long time. It was not a coincidence that we have been up on the table till, I think, beginning of January, I think. And then we made an experience, what is also important for our development. The experience was that the squad, especially the players in the second line, they haven't been good enough to keep us on this level when we are missing a few, or when we're having a few issues with injuries. And this we have to change in the summer. I know that we therefore need a lot of money, but we have to be smart. We have to be really finding the transfer packages that the signings that are for us perfect, and we can handle with our limits we have as a club. But we have to do it, because otherwise you can be sure that a season is so long with so many games, you cannot go through such a long season without injuries. So you need to have also a good second line where you trust and can keep the level high.
Lovely. Thanks, Ralph. Good luck on Monday.
Okay, Matt Dunn.
Hi, Ralph. Brushed upon it earlier. I asked a question for Monday's paper, if I may. How much of a buzz is there around the FA Cup already at the club? And can it, in the modern world, still be a motivation for players to play well, to get a place in that semi-final team? Or is that just a romantic myth that us English journalists still hold on to?
No. Why not? We think about the game. We play about 3 points in the Premier League. and this is enough for us to be motivated and to give everything and to invest everything for taking the win. So you can be sure that the FA Cup semi-final is still far away in the mind of the guys. They know that on this weekend maybe it's like good preparing for this big game, but if you don't play well there, then you have not a big chance to play on the weekend against Leicester. So everybody knows how important the Monday game is for us, and we go there with and it's definitely helpful if you have a good performance there and you win and take 3 points. That definitely helps you for the cup final, semi-final. Sorry.
And on the build up to that cup game, I mean, you walk past the only manager to have won the cup for Southampton. Every time you go to a match, walk past his statue. You must know what a big deal it is for Southampton. And I just wondered, has anyone ever built a statue of yourself?
A good friend of me said one time, I don't want to have a statue because all the birds are on them, you know. So that's the reason why I'm not really focused on having a statue. I want to make history for this club. Yeah, this is definitely something I cannot deny. It is something that drives everybody here in this club because it is something special. And as I said, it's a short way to have a big chance to win something big.
And then finally for me, that you obviously, it was a sit up and take notice performance from West Brom against Chelsea. Do you need to remind your players that they seem to have targeted this game as one that they can win? Do you need to remind them that actually they have to be on their game this one? And is there a motivation in just being a party pooper in itself, or when you haven't really got that much to play for in the league?
No. We have also shown last season after lockdown where everybody said we are safe and what can we achieve anymore. We have been very, very driven and focused and motivated for getting wins. And I'm sure that there's nobody around here who takes this game of the weekend not serious enough, because we are playing against the second bottom of the league. So we know how difficult it is. Every Premier League game is tough, and especially against the teams that are beyond us. I think we showed some really, really good performances this season, that because we have been very, very committed and focused.
Okay, Jerry.
Hello, Ralph. Are you okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Good. Just to take you back to the point you made chatting to Tom earlier about hoping to strengthen the squad, the general squad, perhaps the reinforcement players this summer. Does it enter the calculation that maybe, you know, if money is tight, you would need to you would need to sell one of your more valuable players in order to strengthen the group, if you like, take out one star in order to create more strength in depth?
The good thing is we don't have to sell players, or not our best players. We will maybe sell others. They are also interesting for lower league teams or for other teams. And then the targets we have and the players we want to sign are very seldom players with in the 20-30 million ranges. This is what we don't need for us as a club. We are looking for players around the 10 million or even lower if possible. There are some good valuable players around there, and this we have to find, and this we have to pick. And I think important for us is not about selling a lot of players, selling the right ones, and then finally it will help us massively, especially on the fullback positions. We know that we have some issues in the season with injuries. Then we were struggling, and finally we have to take the focus on this, and then hopefully we find the right ones, because I think the transfers in the last season with Ibra and Sully, they were good and helpful, and we need to look for a good mentality, for a good character, and finally also for a good quality on the pitch, and a good workload. That is important for us as a team, and we'll have a good side next season also.
And just to go back to last week's game with West Brom at Chelsea, everything really turned when Thiago Silva was sent off. There were two, very early booking and then a second one quite early on. You know yourself how games can change at Old Trafford when Jankovic went early. Is this your worst nightmare as a manager? You go out, you set up your team, you prepare well, and then one or two silly challenges in the early stages completely imbalances it. Is there much you can do to prepare against that?
Not really. The red card against Man United after 2 minutes is definitely the most horrible thing you can get, because the game is gone against a strong side, and I think it's a good signal that even Chelsea is struggling against a team that in the Premier League. It shows you how strong the Premier League is. It's not possible to play with one man down and an easy win or something. It's not possible, also not for Chelsea. To be honest, a red card is a very, very game-changing moment, and that's the reason why I always say that in football, I know the rules are like, I don't know how long they exist. It's the same like a penalty. I'm not a big friend of this decisive decisions because of the situation. I have seen the 2 yellow cards from Thiago Silva against West Brom. To be honest, for me, this is not what you can give a red card after these 2 situations, and that changes a complete game. So this is always in the hand of the referee to have a good feeling how much you can. I mean, when it's a horrible foul, then there's no doubt. Then you have to give a red card. But in some moments, I think you must be careful that you don't decide the game with a red card, although you don't have to. And that's the reason why I'm normally not a big friend of this horrible decisions.
Thank you.
Duncan Wright.
Hi, Ralph. I just want to touch back on the summer and the potential to bring in new targets. Are you operating, how difficult have you found it since Brexit? Obviously, the market you would have been dipping into before at the 10 million bracket might not be available now because those players haven't qualified and got enough points. So are you looking at a different market of players?
Yeah, I think because of the Brexit, some other markets have been opened now for us more than they have been when we were part of the EU. So this is definitely changing a little bit. The problem is that you have to also focus with the scouting on these markets, especially South America, for example. And we haven't so far. So, but also there, it's in general not easy to bring a player in the Premier League. Yeah, we know this. On the one side, everybody thinks we have this huge money because we are a Premier League club, and so you pay more for a player like other teams around there in the world. And on the other side, when you want to make a cheap transfer, then he's not good enough because you don't get a work permit for him. So this is an issue you cannot solve so easily. Yeah. So this is an issue I didn't know when I was coming here, to be honest. And so we as a club, we know that we don't have this huge amount of money to bring big players in, not in a moment. But finally, the targets we have are players. They give us such a fantasy that we can develop them to big players, and this is then a good package for us. Still possible to get them in, and yes, not immediately maybe helping us, but in a long-term project, when they work with us, when they play for us for a few times, then they're getting better, and then they have the value we need to get from them.
And I just want to ask something about Danny Ings as well. Again, not about his future, more about the summer. It's your message to Danny now, with the Euros coming up. It's your form now that will get you into the squad. So, are you looking for him you can benefit from him finding his form and firing himself into the England squad?
Yeah, but this is always my job to bring the best out of every player. And if he has a Euro or not, I mean, he is part of this club. He has a contract in this club, so that contract means he has to do everything that is in chance to help us. And I think this is the deal we made. So I don't care about being then part in it for the Euros. This is something like a bonus for him. But the most important thing is that he helps us winning games, that he helps us climbing in the table, that he helps us maybe coming to the cup final. This is the deal we have with him. And so long as he's here, he tried to give his part to this deal, and we give our part to the deal, that we offer him everything what is possible to make him better. And so finally, this is how it should be with every player.